The night air was thick with silence, broken only by the faint hum of city traffic below. On the 24th floor of a half-empty office building, a young woman stood trembling on the ledge. Her hands clutched her swollen belly, tears streaming down her cheeks. One wrong step, and both her life, and the fragile one within her, would be gone forever. From behind her, a voice cut through the darkness. "Don't jump." She froze. Slowly, she turned. It wasn't a security guard or a passerby. It was Daniel Hayes, the CEO of the very company that owned the building. Except he didn't look like the successful leader the magazines once called the visionary of tomorrow. His tie was loosened, his shirt wrinkled, his eyes hollow. He looked just as broken as she did. "Please," he said, taking a cautious step closer. "I know what it feels like when the world doesn't give you a reason to go on." Her voice cracked. "You don't understand. I have nothing left. No family, no money. And a baby I can't take care of. This is the only way out." Daniel's chest tightened. Just hours ago, he himself had been staring at a bottle of pills in his office. His company was collapsing, investors had abandoned him, and the world that once praised him now mocked him as a failure. He had been seconds away from giving up. But when he saw her silhouette on the roof, instinct had pulled him upstairs. "You're wrong," he whispered, inching closer. "I do understand. I lost everything too. The business, my reputation, even my marriage. I thought about ending it tonight. But then I saw you. Maybe we're both here for a reason." Her knees weakened. "What reason?" Daniel extended his hand. His voice was raw but steady. "To save each other." For a moment, time stood still. Then, with trembling hands, she reached out. Daniel grabbed her firmly, pulling her off the ledge into his arms. She collapsed against his chest, sobbing uncontrollably. That night, two strangers, both on the edge of despair, chose life instead of death. Over the next weeks, their lives became strangely intertwined. Daniel made sure she had a place to stay, meals to eat, and a doctor to care for her pregnancy. Her name was Emily. She had been abandoned by the baby's father and disowned by her family. She was ready to give up not because she didn't love her child. In return, Emily became Daniel's anchor. While his company's problems didn't magically disappear, she reminded him daily that his worth wasn't tied to board meetings or headlines. "You gave me back my life," she told him once, "and this little one will grow up knowing the man who saved us both." Daniel couldn't explain it, but helping Emily gave him a strength he thought he'd lost. Investors who had once ignored his calls slowly returned. His employees noticed a change in him, a humility and warmth that hadn't been there before. His company didn't just recover, it began to thrive again, built not on profit alone, but on compassion. Months later, Daniel stood nervously outside a hospital room. From inside, he heard the sharp cry of a newborn. Emily, exhausted but glowing, smiled as a nurse placed the baby boy in her arms. She looked up at Daniel, tears welling in her eyes. "I've decided to name him Daniel, after the man who reminded me that life is worth living." He froze. His throat tightened. In that moment, the CEO who once thought himself a failure realized that the greatest legacy wasn't in stock prices or magazine covers, it was in the lives you touched when they needed you most. The world can be cruel, unpredictable, and unforgiving. But sometimes, in our darkest hour, the very act of saving someone else is what ends up saving us. Daniel and Emily's story became a quiet reminder, even when everything seems lost, compassion can rewrite the ending. And to anyone standing on the ledge, literally or figuratively, the message is the same: don't jump. Your story isn't over yet.